Paul Begley, I am here. I'm Paul Begley. We're talking about the rise of the beast. I know it's crazy, but I'm wearing this green Irish hat because Ireland's broke, busted, and disgusted. Ireland has to be bailed out or it's gone. So basically it's gone. Because if you have to bail out an entire government with funny money from the EU, you're history. It's just a Band-Aid. You've become a slave to the lender. And that's what's happened. The entire EU system is broke. I'm wearing my Irish hat. I am Irish. I'm Paul Begley. And actually, my ancestors are from Ireland. We were called Begley. We've come to America. We married in with some of the native Indians. I'm 6% Cherokee Indian. I'm Irish. I married a Catholic girl, but I myself a non-denominational preacher. Protestant. But respecting all denominations within Christianity. And let me tell you right now, the European dollar, the euro is done. In May of this year, May of 2010, Greece had to be bailed out. Its utopia society, its socialistic lifestyle had come to a screeching halt due to debt. It had to be bailed out by the EU. Now, Ireland has to be bailed out here in November of 2010. It's busted. It has to borrow 100 billion euros to bail out its government. People stormed the gates of the palace wanting to oust Brian Cowen as president. He's done because they're done. Portugal is next. And then one by one, the EU can't survive. You can't keep taking from some nations, watering down to sustain others. And anyway, if you borrow but you can't pay it back, what's that mean? What's that mean? So here's the deal with America. America's in the same boat, but they're to China. So America borrows and borrows and borrows and borrows and sells, while it's borrowing, it sells its manufacturing base to China over a period of about 25 years. And as this manufacturing base migrates into China and Korea and Vietnam and India and Mexico, the jobs keep leaving. And as more and more and more and more and more of the American people lose their job, eventually the spiral effect begins. And boom, the U.S. dollar is worthless. So what's Barack Obama do? He shows up at the G20 summit with his song and a dance and his hat in his hand, but it's not going to cut it, people. China does not want to be paid back in monopoly money. They don't want to be paid back in worthless dollars that have been diluted by our printing presses running just so we can pay them back. It's not based on anything. It's useless. We're broke, busted, and we are very disgusted here in America. Now here's what the Bible says will happen. When all this is gone, the EU is done. Put a fork in it. It's broke. The Americans are broke. And now they're trying to pay back China with useless paper money. That's bringing down the Chinese currency and the Japanese currency and the German currency. It's destroying England. And look, it's over. So here's what happens. Here's what the Bible said would happen. Right at the most critical point, when the world's socialistic world is falling apart, the Bible says in Revelation chapter 13:13, and he said, and he doth great wonders, talking about the Antichrist. He'll rise. He'll do great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth and in the sight of men. He'll deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he has power to do in the sight of the beast, or the system. And that's why you hear all this talk of aliens and the visitation, and they're coming. And we even, the United Nations, even voted to have an ambassador to aliens, because the world is going to have a reason to tell all of us 7 billion people, inhabitants of this planet, we are now taking orders from one leader. And this is what's going to form the new world order. It's not a real demon. It's not a real alien from some other planet. It is a demon spirit leading an antichrist figure who will rise, bringing peace and prosperity to a very troubled and depressed world. Now, he'll deceive them by miracles which he has power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword, and he did live. There's the wound. And he had power to give life to the image of the beast. He has power to give life to the system, the mark of the beast, the beast. But the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. This, if you don't come a part of the one world, new world order, if you're not part of what the Illuminatists are bringing forward, or the mark of the beast, you will be killed. That's why there's 800 FEMA camps throughout America and nobody's there. Look, why would we have 800 prisons built all over this country and not have any prisoners in them when we have overcrowded jails? But we won't send it because they're not set up for jails. They're set up for the New World Order, for the resistance, for those who, the religious crowd and those that are the resistors to the New World Order. They will be taken to these camps. They will be punished. They will be indoctrinated. If they refuse to go along, they will be killed. Let's go on. He had power to give life to the image of the beast, and the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. You will follow the orders or die or starve. And that no man might buy or sell, save he have the mark. Paper money won't get it. Your money in the bank's not going to matter. When the world currency begins, the only way to get employment, only way you're going to buy any food, any way you're going to pay for your rent, any way you're going to work, buy or sell and communicate and work and function in this new world order will be because you have the mark of the beast, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here's wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, or 666. It's happening, people. Christians are being killed all over the world. America is busted. Ireland is broke. Greece has collapsed. Portugal's on the way. Millions of people are already starving in third world countries. It means it's meaningless to those who are involved in this, the rise of this beast. These new world order people are walking in the spirit of a demonic spirit of Satan. They're Lucifer's followers. They're blinded. They hate God. They won't retain God in their mind. They won't go to church. Barack Obama, I'm not going to say he's the Antichrist because I don't believe he is. He's just a puppet on the string. Okay? But he is part of, no question, he seems to fit the bill of this New World Order crowd. Says he's a Christian. He's been to one service in 2 years. He can't go to church and worship Jesus because he's not a believer. He spends more time in Muslim countries bowing to Saudi princes and to Muslims than he does ever to the cross of Calvary. His only ideal of religion was 20 years under Reverend Wright on the south side of Chicago preaching black theology, ghetto gospel, which says all white people are terrible. That's all he's got. He was taught while in Indonesia, he went to a Catholic school, but he also worshiped in a Unitarian church where he was taught Islam and Christianity. This thing is awful. It's time to realize I'm Paul Begley. The mark of the beast is here almost.